episode. Oh, boo-hoo.
Lovely intro. Boo-hoo!
Hello and welcome to Geeks the Rap. I'm your host, Matt Moore, and we just embarrassed Charles a little bit, which we used to do all the time and we haven't done in a while, so that was kind of fun. We are discussing the Flash Arrow crossover episodes, Legends of Today and Legends of Yesterday. Let's introduce the panel. First off, the slightly embarrassed Charles Wheaton. How you doing, Charles?
I'm doing good. And for the record, go fuck yourself, Matt. And but of course, aside from that, of him embarrassing me and all that, I loved the episodes. Flash and Arrow. I loved them both. Although I'm still going to say Flash was a little bit better than Arrow, but Arrow really surprised me with its time travelness, which I was really interested in. But yes, that's all I have to say on that.
Let me ask, were you currently chewing as you were talking during all of that?
No comment.
We're still chewing.
No comment.
And next we have Lou. How you doing, Lou? What you think of the episode?
I enjoyed both of them, but like Whedon said, I like Flash more than I liked Arrow. Flash felt more comedic than Arrow did.
Okay. And you know, like everyone dying, that's generally a bad thing. So the time travel portion was kind of cool. And thus far, as far as we can tell, there are no negative repercussions this time around.
Nope.
So far.
I think the reason why there were no negative repercussions was because of the amount of time between the moment where everybody died to the point where the time where Flash traveled back to in time. Because it was only by what? I'd say 12 hours. While in the time travel episode of Flash, it was by a few days. So the longer in time you go back, the more likely that you're going to have bad repercussions. But the shorter, the less likely something bad will happen.
Maybe that makes sense.
Yeah.
So because it's 2 episodes, I don't know where else to start. We end up having the Flash episode in which they kind of completely ignore Zoom. I mean, they mention Zoom, but they're no longer working with a Zoom villain, as it were. You have Vandal Savage showing up on a boat, comes off the boat, kills a couple people with some knives. And the Flash goes, nope, fuck this, call Oliver. Basically.
But the reason why he said, you know what, never mind, I'm going to wait until I'm done chewing. Yeah.
He calls Oliver after the whole incident at the... fuck is that place? The coffee shop.
Yes, because the guy can throw knives.
No, the reason why he called Oliver is because... on Flash, they're dealing with metahumans, which is based off of science. However, Vandal Savage is a part of mysticism, which is what Arrow is dealing with right now. Flash has zero experience to deal with mysticism.
Yes, except for the fact that at that point, we hadn't seen actual mysticism.
Dude, that man walked in that building and out that building.
From a room, but fucking Batman does that shit.
Without Batman uses his little... cloud dust thing to make himself disappear.
No, he does that shit to fucking James Gordon all the time without the whatever. All you have to do is fucking the second someone starts to turn the other way, walk the fuck out. That's all Vandal Savage had to do.
Vandal Savage disappeared.
Fucking Oliver is like a little pussy and is all like, oh, you know what? Fuck this. I'm out.
Look, man, we finally got confirmation that jumping out of Oliver's window leads to your fucking death. So how the fuck did these people survive?
I think you're jumping ahead in the story. What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, Vandal Savage gets shot off of Thea's balcony, or Oliver's new house. And they finally, for once, we see them look over the balcony to no little anything there to catch anyone.
Okay.
What?
Last season, Thea jumps out the window over the balcony. They jumping over this balcony. Where the fuck are they landing?
Thea could have used her training brought on by that Malcolm gave her to
And did what?
latched on to one of the lower balconies and jump in.
Dude, at the velocity that you're falling, you're breaking bones.
Well, that's just it. You have to reach that velocity first. When you first go out the window, you're not at max velocity.
The further you fall, the faster you get.
Immediately, she'd be okay.
Shit. So what? So she practiced that shit.
And with
jumping off the
and whether Vandal Savage ended up latching onto one of the balconies or fell straight down to the floor, it wouldn't have mattered. The guy was immortal. He would have been able to survive it.
No, that bitch used some magic and probably just disappeared into thin air.
It was more likely that he did the same thing Thea did, and that was latch on to one of the lower balconies. And that's probably the one.
He just came in through the fucking balcony.
So here's the thing, though, is to bring it back to where I was going with Barry being a bitch, is we end up starting the episode out with Vandal Savage wearing the fucking handcuffs, and then him switching the handcuffs from him to another person. That's fucking magic, right?
To the captain, yes.
Except right after that, the dude goes, "Who taught you that, Houdini?" And he's all like, "No, I taught Houdini." Which means it wasn't fucking magic. It was prestidigitation, which is not magic. It's pretending to be magic. It looks like magic, but isn't. So the question is without that fucking staff, does Vandal Savage actually have magic? And I don't think he does. I think he's just very good at making it seem like he does, because he's just that good.
I never said that it was, but the only thing magical about Vandal Savage is his immortality. That's it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. And I think that staff has power, but I don't think he has power other than immortality.
Yeah. Now it was mysticism that gave him his immortality, but it didn't actually give him any powers himself. It was just chant a few words, make the, season of the year or something seem right, like the whole, meteors falling and all that. Maybe that came into play, and that's what made him immortal. But beyond that, he's just some guy.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Now, that's my current theory on it, is that, yeah, he's just some guy with a very long lifespan who got turned into dust. Now, that's just it, is that kind of verifies, kind of adds a flavor to the Legends of Tomorrow TV show, because of the fact that their bad guy, the one that they're going to be fighting, is already dead.
Is he?
Already dead and gone.
Well, I came up with the theory that he is dead for the time being, but somebody's going to bring him back. And knowing the fact that Vandal Savage is going to be the villain in Legends of Tomorrow, it confirms that somebody's going to bring him back, and it will most likely be Malcolm Merlyn. And, originally I thought they would use a Lazarus Pit, but that's unlikely because, they destroyed the Lazarus Pit.
Yeah.
It's done. It's gone.
It's now known as the Lazarus Brick.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's just a hot tub.
Yeah.
But they do have other Lazarus pits.
There are other ones.
For a hot tub, it'd be liquid. It's not liquid anymore. It's like lava or something, except not hot. They jellified it.
I don't know, but yeah.
So yeah, but we know that Vandal Savage in the future ends up taking over the future. So he's got to come back somehow. He either comes back, or he, in the past, time travels himself to the future. Those are the only two options. He's got to either come back or time travel, because he takes over the future. That's the whole point of the Legends of Tomorrow TV show. So, we'll see.
Yeah.
And And then, of course, Legends of Tomorrow travels all throughout time to fight him at various incursions. They're basically an army brigade, at least it seems to me.
Yeah.
Now, I have a question. How does everyone feel about Carter Hall? Because I hate the fucker.
Yeah, he kind of seems to be a bit of what's the word?
Asshole.
Yeah, asshole. Yeah, but like on a high horse or something like that. Like he thinks he's better than everyone else.
He's Hawkman. I mean, let's be real. He took down Arrow and Flash. He caught the Flash, God knows how, and then he throws his malice. Is that what it's called?
Mace.
His mace at Arrow's fucking bike. Arrow's doing about 50 miles an hour and gets up like nothing. Like, god damn, they're good.
It was. That's just it. Is I don't think he thinks he's better than everyone. I just think that he has this thing about Kendra. I think that he's basically like, you know what? It's me and her. Fuck everyone else. And if you're trying to help, okay, cool. Go ahead and try and help. But leave us alone. Like, don't get between what we have. Even though right now they don't have jack or shit because, you know, she doesn't fucking remember that shit. Or at least for the most part, she doesn't remember that shit.
That whole time he was chained up and they're talking to him and Malcolm shows up flat. Barry's like, where'd you come from? All the comedic timings were great this week.
Yeah.
The thing that's really bothering me about the reveal of what like the flashbacks to Egyptian time with Shiara and Khufu. Khufu, but why are they white?
She could pass.
Yeah, she gets a pass. She does, but Khufu's
dad, no.
Khufu and Khufu's father, no. To be culturally accurate, they would have either have had to have been black or Middle Eastern.
Well, take that beef up with the people of the director of Gods of Egypt.
Yeah, they're doing the same thing with Gods of Egypt.
I made this specifically for you.
It took me a minute to see that, but damn it. But, I mean, I'm trying to be culturally accurate here, okay?
Uh-huh.
So why does that make me racist?
You're trying to say there was no white folks back there?
Not in that area. Not in the region of Egypt at that time.
Did you live there at that time?
People travel, right? You know, people have these things, they're called feet, and they can walk.
If there were Caucasian people there, most likely it would have been the Romans, and they wouldn't have been living there. They would have had, what's the word? Trade agreements, an alliance, but they wouldn't actually be living there. And they sure as hell wouldn't become pharaohs and princes.
Who says I can't become a pharaoh of my own land? Shit. I deem myself the pharaoh of my living room.
It is immensely more complicated than that, dude.
Says who?
Says history.
But no, Charles does have a point. Is historically in the real world that shit would basically be impossible. However, we do have to have a slight suspension of disbelief and just roll with it.
Yep. Just like, you know, when they moved over to the Arrow side and they get up out of the bed and their clothing was just, oh boy, you could see everything. Poor editing.
It's not like Barry picked out some treads of a Mustang and just knew what the fucking tire that was. That was horrible suspension of disbelief.
God damn it! Really, we're gonna bring up the tire again?
Hey, I can make fun of myself too.
Your video is out, Matt.
My video is out? Okay.
Yeah. But now it's back.
Let me see. What else did we have on this I want to discuss?
The reveal of Oliver's son.
Oh yeah, dun dun
Oh,
dun.
okay, I did not care at all about that.
Yeah,
Okay,
that was
before
just
you continue, now remember episode 1 of Arrow. What if this is what's been floating around now? It's his son in that box. Because everyone else is kind of too obvious, and this is why they inserted his son into play.
Oh man, if they do that, oh man, that would be a
That
dick
would
move.
drive him to kill again.
That would be a
Besides
dick
losing the
move.
love of his life.
That would be a dick move on the writer's part. Killing a kid.
No, they don't do that. They killed the mom.
I don't think he'd get
Kill
that
the mom.
emotional over the
He's
mom.
got a kid. Bam.
And then season 5 is him taking care of that kid.
Yes.
Training him to beat Damian Wayne.
Huh?
Lou's gone insane. We're just gonna ignore Lou now.
Yeah.
We all know that the Arrow is a lower tread of Batman. The writers are trying to make him Batman, so let's just be real. He gets his son. They would consider him, yeah, he'd be Oliver's son, but they try to do it like a Batman spin.
Well,
Except for the fact that Damian Wayne was trained by the League of Assassins, and thinks he's better than even Batman, and
basically Damian Wayne is a dick.
Yes.
Damian Wayne is cool.
Okay. No, I mean seriously, Dick Grayson is a dick. Damian Wayne redefines the term.
Damian Wayne kicks Dick Grayson's ass.
No, that fight actually happened and Damian lost. Like a lot. Like it got to the point to where Dick Grayson was like playing with Damian Wayne, and that's how Damian Wayne ended up being Robin, is because of the fact he challenged Dick Grayson because Dick Grayson was being Batman, and said, "I'm not fucking following you because you can't even kick my ass." And Dick Grayson then proceeded to prove him wrong.
I think they're going to rewrite that with the new Batman movie coming out.
Okay. To think that Damian Wayne's going to be in the next Batman movie? No.
He already is.
Damian Wayne.
In the next animated movie, Damian Wayne is in the next
animated.
movie.
Okay.
I'm not talking about big screen. No, big screen is a whole other world.
Okay. I don't know, but that even if they do rewrite it in the animated movie, that doesn't change the canon. That doesn't change the comics. Like there are a lot of things in the animated movies that don't change the comics, such as
Dude, I don't know what's real anymore as far as comics. They fucking change canon so much.
Yeah, back to Arrow and Flash.
This all pertains to the same shit.
Yeah. In any case, so we end up having him finding out about his kid, him forgetting that he found out about his kid because, of course, Barry turned back time, him finding out about his kid again because Barry told him, and this time him not yet fucking shit up with Felicity because he fucked shit up with Felicity the first time. Barry should have been like, yeah, you found out you were a father. Felicity found out that you were a father, and it fucking broke you up because you didn't tell her first. Like, tell Felicity.
But the baby mama told him not to tell no one.
So?
Doesn't mean shit.
So?
Hey,
Felicity.
I'm following the storyline.
Hey, Felicity, if my baby mama, finds out I don't get to see my kid, however, I've got a kid.
And I just found out literally while we were here.
Yeah, don't tell her. I'm telling you, but don't tell her.
Well, if Oliver told Felicity about his son, Felicity would want to see him, would want to see the kid.
Why?
Well, because of how close they are, I wouldn't be surprised if she survives this season that they'd probably end up getting married by the end of the season, and she would basically have a stepchild, and she'd want to see him.
So she can see him the same way she sees everything, from the lens of a camera. She could retask a fucking Palmer Tech satellite and see him from that.
Yeah, and I'm sure Ray would appreciate that so much.
Ray wouldn't know.
Choice, does he?
Ray wouldn't know. Ray don't give a shit to be back in the company, dude.
Yeah.
That's why he's going to Legends of Tomorrow.
But no, I mean, I really think he needs to tell Felicity.
Well, it's all depending on how many more times he goes to see the kid throughout this season. Maybe they implanted that, and it could be a useless implant, or it could play out throughout the season. Only time will tell.
Well, the main thing that I'm worried about this whole plot is course correction. In the original timeline, Felicity and Oliver broke up because Felicity realized that even though they were in love, Oliver still didn't trust her completely with this kind of information, and they
broke up.
But in universal course correction, even in a new timeline, the same event will happen with a few differences. So they're still going to break up. It's just not. It's just going to probably happen.
Your logic is assuming they broke up. They did not break up.
They just had a fight.
Away from each other, and that was it. So a few course corrections, a few changes would be they have a spat.
Well, they technically did have the start of a spat until it ended with Felicity kissing him on a couch. Right at the end of
it made you uncomfortable.
No, it didn't. Fuck off. But no, at the end of the Arrow episode, when they get back and they go back into their house and they were talking about that, and she was wanting to know about that thing he was trying to fix.
But yes, if you've ever been in a relationship, or at least a serious relationship, you know breaking up isn't broken up unless it's explicitly stated so. Yeah. And even then, maybe not.
But you know what? Going back to the Flash episode, that fight with Oliver, useless Laurel, and Diggle with Damien Dark, and the Flash saves them all. That shit was funny. Damien Dark is like, "What was that?"
Yeah,
with a big ass smile on his face.
Yeah, I thought that was a bit humorous, but I would expect that with the resources that he, as well as Hive, has, they would be fully aware of metahumans.
Yeah, they'd probably be aware of metahumans, but that doesn't mean they see them every day.
Mm-hmm.
I would assume I would assume that they'd be the type of corporation that would want to not only know about metahumans, but also capture them and experiment on them and try to weaponize them.
Well, that's just it. I don't know. Like, for example, I am aware in real life of people who bin spoons with their fucking mind. Like I've seen it. You can see videos of it.
Videos are not proof. Videos can be faked.
All right, I can read fucking countless accounts of people who have seen it.
Seen what?
Any case.
I would only accept that as truth if I witness it with my own eyes, as in physically in front of me. That is the only way I'll ever accept it.
I didn't hear Matt. What'd he say?
What I'm saying is having, knowing it exists and seeing it happen are two completely different things. Knowing the amazing is out there, or seeing it happen is two completely different things.
Okay.
And that's my thought on Damien Dark is him seeing a fucking metahuman at work versus knowing that they exist. That's two different things. But who knows? What else do we have? We got the ending. Staff of Horus. They figured out how to take down the staff and then use the staff. Thanks to the Int metal, which came from the meteorites.
I mean, Kendra getting her powers fully, understanding them. Really wasn't too much else.
What's funny is in that you kind of have two different approaches towards everything. Is Carter Hall is trying to teach her how to use her powers and is all like, use the rage. And that's how he uses his powers, but that's obviously not how she uses hers.
Well, because she's not trusting Carter Hall, whatever, dipshit, to the
Carter
full
Hall.
extent.
How hard is that?
He's I don't like him, so I don't care for him.
Okay.
So, I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. I enjoyed the Smallville version of Carter Hall much more than this, mostly because it was played by Michael Shanks, who was one of my favorite television actors.
You're just afraid he'd come and
And
shank
remind
you.
me, what exactly did he do before this? So, as I muted Charles just as he was about to get his Stargate on, Charles is about to explode. All right, there we go. Oh, wait. Let's unmute him. There we go. All right. Yes, Charles, we know he's from fucking Stargate. We're aware of that.
I wasn't going to say so. I was only going to say that he acted as Daniel Jackson in Stargate, and that's all I was going to say.
Uh-huh.
That's all I was going to say. You know what? Fuck off, Matt.
Wait, I thought Spader. I thought he played Daniel Jackson in Stargate.
You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about SG-1.
Yeah, apparently you're just lying to us. All right, so, which, by the way, Blacklist is really good this year. In any case,
Yes, it is.
I ended up throwing myself off topic. I totally forgot what. Oh, so they figured out how to fight against the staff of Horus. End up using the staff to basically turn him into dust. And then Malcolm Merlin grabs a handful of it and did some sort of, I don't know, said some sort of mojo words.
He said the same words that
He
was
said
repeated when they got their immortality.
Yeah, he said the same thing that Vandal Savage said when he first became immortal back in the flashback for Egypt, back in the Egyptian times. And then, of course, after he recited what Vandal Savage said, he then said, "You owe me one, buddy," which leads me to believe that it's Malcolm that revives Vandal Savage.
Oh, you know what? If Vandal Savage is immortal, think of it kind of like the Phoenix. What if killing Vandal Savage? What if Vandal Savage is the only one who can bring the Lazarus Pit back? Maybe all of this is to revive the Lazarus Pit.
Well, I heard Constantine can bring back the Lazarus Pit.
Yeah, but Constantine wouldn't do that shit.
Well, he wouldn't.
And good luck convincing him to do it.
That's true.
What are you going to do? Torture him? It's fucking Constantine. He'll just disappear into his own mind.
That could be an interesting point.
Well, I don't know if we're going to see Constantine again this season. I hope that we do, but it's unlikely at this point.
Well, they if Legends of Tomorrow gets a second season, Constantine's going to be on Legends of Tomorrow season 2.
Yeah, but a lot of people are saying that it's not going to get a second season, not because of the ratings, but because of how much it fucking costs to make, and that makes sense.
Yeah, it's costing a lot of money, and yeah, that's a big downfall because they better get their shit together.
I mean,
the show better be good enough to be able to make money enough to pay for future seasons.
But here's a catch: what if season 2 doesn't have to deal with time travel?
Well, the whole premise of the show is about time travel.
that'd be
Actually,
like
no,
saying,
it's
what if season 6 of Arrow doesn't have to do with Arrow? That's kind of the point.
The whole purpose of Legends of Tomorrow it's like an anthology. It's going to be different seasons, so it's not going to be based on time travel next season.
You know what, Lou? You're completely correct, unless you actually say the name of the show out loud, and then you realize, oh wait, yes, it's probably has to do with time travel. The name of the show is Legends of Tomorrow.
They could change the name for next season. Legends of the Future.
Then it wouldn't be the same show.
Legends of the Present.
Legends of the Present.
Legends of the Present. Yes, that is an awesome name.
Legends of Today.
They could change it to Santa's Sack, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, just...
They'll just ejaculate storylines.
What they're doing now.
You don't know that! The first episode hasn't aired.
No, we just got the first poster today.
Yes, but the preview, the actual trailer that we saw very recently, blew our minds, and that includes you, Lou, and you have to admit that.
I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to watching it January 21st.
Yes.
Well, I'll probably, January 21st.
So, yeah, it looks really good. So, let's hope. All right, do we have anything else? I'm not going to do a wild speculation because this particular story didn't have to do with the main storyline at all. It was kind of its own little standalone.
But maybe it isn't, because what if Savage gets revived right before they go into the Legends of Tomorrow premiere?
All right, that's Lou's wild speculation.
I don't have any speculation either. I know I don't have speculation in a lot of the shows that we do, but in this particular one, my reasoning for not having speculation is because just what Matt said.
Yada, 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 yada.
Okay, but here's a question. What did you guys overall think of this year's crossover versus last year's?
I thought they were both good. I thought this one was better. I'm sorry, Charles. I was being an asshole. Go on and finish what you were saying.
I'm not going to finish what I'm going to say, but I'm going to connect to something what Lou said. I believe that this crossover event was much better than last year's. I had issues with last year's crossover event. There was just some things that I just couldn't get over.
Yeah, last year's crossover just felt out of place. This year's was good, and I kind of hope they now go to two crossover events, one in the first half and one in the second half.
You didn't think that this crossover event felt forced? That was kind of my point right at the beginning, where I was talking about Barry being a pussy, is that he finds a guy who can throw knives and who left a room in the time that Barry turned around, and Barry's all like, "Fuck this." And my thought is the whole thing felt forced. It felt like, you know what? It's time for Oliver to be in an episode, so let's go find Oliver. It felt forced.
I felt like that first scene with Vandal Savage in the coffee shop, and when Flash turns back around, he disappeared out of thin air. Flash is quick. Vandal ain't that fast to walk out that building that quick.
But he wasn't using his powers to help out Kendra and then turn back around. I mean, he was turned around a couple seconds. A person could duck behind a fucking counter or do any of that shit in that time.
Well, then he has to be a ninja.
And ninjas exist in this world. We've seen plenty of fucking ninjas.
And I'm not saying
Now Merlin's got a fucking army of ninjas.
Oh, yes. They just pop in a building and you don't know where the fuck they came from.
I'm just saying, like it's not that hard to fucking dive behind a counter or disappear in that particular period of time, especially if you've got a few thousand years to learn how to do it.
But it was all set up because of the mysticism, so we'll just have to run with it.
Yeah, it's suspension of disbelief on my part. I think the whole thing felt forced, but you know what? I'll live. I'll live. All right, so let's wrap everything up. I want to thank everyone for watching. Go ahead and check us out on geeksoftheround.com. You can also check us out on our G Plus page, also at Geeks of the Round, Facebook, Twitter, all the same there. You can also give us a call at 801-609-GOTR. That's 801-609-4687. Email us, geeksaround@gmail.com. Yeah, check us out. Like, subscribe, all that other fun stuff, and we will see you next time. But not until July. We don't have anything until July. So, or not July, January. You know, one of those months with the J. Not until January.
We got 3 shows next week.
What's that?
There's 3 shows next week.
Is there?
Shield.
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
Go on their mid-seasons next week.
That's right. This was penultimate. This wasn't the mid-season yet. Okay, I'm sorry. Shows next week, and then after that, not until January. Sorry. I'm kind of out of it. I woke up right before this hanging up. We'll see you next time, and thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.